Well, our first discussion tonight, spying on spies. Russia has been accused a number of times on spying on the United States, especially during last year's U.S. presidential election. Now, new details are emerging on the same topic, this time by another country. Here's a report.
About a week ago, media reports claimed that Russia-based hackers used an antivirus software from Moscow-based Kaspersky labs to hack into U.S. National Security Agency in 2015. Now, Israeli intelligence officials say they can confirm that. Over 2 years ago, Israeli intelligence hacked into Kaspersky's network. They found distinctive Russian hacking tools embedded in the network, following which they warned their US counterparts. It has been established that classified information has been stolen from the US National Security Agency by a contractor who had earlier worked with the agency. That information was downloaded on his home computer that was running Kaspersky antivirus. It is not yet known what other US secrets the Russian hackers may have discovered with the help of Kaspersky software. Kaspersky Lab has denied all the allegations. Bureau Report, WION.
All right, to get perspective on this story, we're now joined by Pranesh Prakash, the Policy Director for the Center for Internet and Society from Bengaluru, with the very latest. Pranesh, great to have you on the program again. Let's talk about this situation. We've discussed this many times about alleged Russian involvement in last year's U.S. presidential election. This time, Israel coming out with a new finding.
Yeah, let's remember that there are two sets of allegations here. And the news has come out through leaks from the US intelligence agencies. There are two sets of allegations. One, that Russians, through Kaspersky, got access to classified material from the United States. And two, that Israeli intelligence agencies, through Kaspersky, found out about this. So there were two sets of hacks that apparently happened. One by Russian intelligence agencies, and secondly by Israeli agencies. So Kaspersky, unfortunately, is in the middle, and other antivirus companies, such as Symantec, have, for this reason, refused to provide access to their source code to any kind of intelligence agencies for many years now.
What does this also talk about Israel and the United States' relationship, especially when it comes to dealing with what happened allegedly last year when it came to electing U.S. President Donald Trump?
So I can't quite comment about the election of Trump, but it tells us two things about the cooperation of Israeli and American intelligence agencies. One, that it's close, because the Israelis apparently provided evidence of this both to Americans and to their UK counterparts at the GCHQ. And second, that right now, for unknown reasons, this counterintelligence operation by the Israelis was blown apart by sources within possibly the NSA or somewhere within the United States intelligence regime, because someone leaked this information to the New York Times. So it's interesting to see what dynamic emerges, whether this was done with the knowledge of the Israelis or whether it was done without. So far remains unclear, but someone in the US leaked this information, and I think it took quite a few people by surprise, including possibly the Israelis.
That was my follow-up question to the Pranesh. What exactly is Israel's agenda, if anything? I mean, is this just to continue building allies with the United States? Or is this just perhaps to bring into perspective about what Russia is doing so that other countries could be more careful?
If one looks at the geopolitics right now, including Israel's involvement, Israel's attacks against Iran and Russia's backing up of the Iran regime at times, and how Israel generally is aligning itself geopolitically, it's been against Russia. And so it's no news that Israel would be trying to attack Russian infrastructure, just as they'd be trying to attack they have been known in the past to attack Indian infrastructure as well, and indeed other intelligence agencies. But what So that, as I said, I'm not sure whether the Israelis actually knew that their American counterparts would be leaking this information, because it is bringing this counter intelligence operation to a halt. Kaspersky last year itself detected some spyware within their network called Dooku, which they said was state espionage, but they didn't name either Israel or Russia at that time. But now it is speculated that that particular attack was Israel.
All right, Pranesh Prakash, getting us the very latest on this story about Russia, Israel, and the United States. Pranesh, thanks again for all of your inputs. Well, staying on the topic of cyber crimes, it was back in September when we told you about global accounting firm Deloitte, which disclosed that hackers broke into their servers. Now, while Deloitte believed that only a handful of clients were actually affected by the hack, a new report now claims that the cyber attack, in fact, affected around 350 clients. The same media report also states that these clients include some U.S. government departments, including the U.S. Departments of State, Energy, Homeland Security, and Defense, as well as the U.S. Postal Service and the National Institute of Health. Not only this, the United Nations and some of the world's biggest multinational companies also becoming the victims of Deloitte's cyber attack.